Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby. And I guess we have Kirby Hocutt on the phone, do we, Brendan? We've got him, the athletic director of Texas Tech. Kirby, thanks for being on this morning.
David, good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing good. You doing? Gary's here, too.
Yeah, I'm doing good, too.
Hey, Gary.
You don't really care, I know.
Of course I do. You know that.
Read that deal that you got before we both forget it.
Okay, we're going to
We got a good message for you, Kirby.
For you.
Okay.
This will be nice.
Thank you to Kirby for helping get our family a parking spot for the Carolina Lights so we could take Tracy. You generally care and you always step up.
That's awesome.
Because our buddy Tracy is talk about a warrior. We're talking about how tough Ben Kirkpatrick is. I think Tracy could whoop Ben Kirkpatrick. So anyway,
he's tough.
We'll sell tickets.
Thank you for doing that.
Well, we love Tracy, and thoughts and prayers have continued to be with him and his family, and he's a good man. We attended the same church as Tracy for some time now, and obviously he's at all the Texas Tech events and games, and a great supporter in so many ways.
Big Red
He's
Raider.
a good one. Well, you've limited us to 10 minutes this morning, so we're going to talk really fast and ask lots of questions.
We got an idea, though, and see if you're willing to do this.
Yeah.
Let us, when you talk to this bowl people, put us on speaker and let us listen in.
We won't say a word. We will not.
We'll be
say
really
a word.
quiet, so we can get the scoop.
All right, we'll take that recommendation under consideration. We'll get some thought to that one for next year.
All right. I'm pretty sure you know, but I'm pretty sure you won't tell us. But could you give us 3 possibilities for a bowl? Rose, sugar, and cotton.
Those even
3.
Is that what they call them now?
I don't even know.
Well, I do believe I've got a pretty good indication on where we'll find out that we're going tomorrow, and the Big 12 has a very specific selection order that the bowls have discretion to select, and of course it starts with the college football playoff and the New Year's 6 bowls, and as you look at the standings right now, it appears like Texas at I think they're number 7 in the CFP rankings would be solidified in those New Year's 6, regardless of what happens today, and Oklahoma State, if they win the Big 12 today, could obviously play their way up into that grouping. But after that, the Alamo makes their decision, and then what's known as the Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando has the next
I don't want to go to that one. That's embarrassing.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Then you find your way to the Texas Bowl has a selection, then the Liberty Bowl has a selection, then the Guaranteed Rate Bowl has a selection there in Phoenix, and then the Independence Bowl has the next selection, and they're in Shreveport, of course. And then after that, you get to the ESPN-owned bowls, which are the Armed Forces Bowls and the First Responders. So, we're right there with the, in no particular order. It's us, Kansas, probably Iowa State, maybe Central Florida that's in that group of selectees for the Liberty Guaranteed Rate Independence Bowl, and then somebody will go probably to an ESPN Bowl. That could be Fort Worth or Dallas.
Okay, well, that'd be convenient.
Yeah, it would be. We got great fans there.
We do, and just the fact that all of them have their advantages. The Independence Bowl obviously is steeped in tradition, and the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix is a big attraction as well. So just proud of it was a challenging football season. It was frustrating in at some points in different ways, but at the same time, the way the young men continued to fight and continued to represent us, I was very proud of, and be excited for the seniors to get to wear the double T one more time.
Well, the ones that aren't going into the portal sound like a couple of our receivers. We're not going to get into that today. 7 home games. 7 home games. You want to have 7 home games every year. And if this were a debate, I could take both sides of this thing. But tell us what you're thinking on the seven games a year at home.
Well, the transfer portal opens, I forget if it's today or Monday, but nonetheless, you're right. And that's not off the list that we can talk about. College athletics is changing. We're going to see, seems like more and more athletes in all sports, get in the portal and explore their different options on an annual basis. And we had a graduation banquet this week. We have 36 student athletes graduating in December. And, there was a number of them there that had already declared for the transfer portal. And I think we thank them and wish them well, and believe that Texas Tech will always have a special place in their heart and will always be home for them, even if, they're here for a couple of years and transfer somewhere else. But to answer your question specifically, 7 home games, we're making a $250 million investment into Jones AT&T Stadium, and you want to give your team every incremental advantage that you can. And playing at home is an advantage. And so I just, we've always looked at a philosophy of, a rotation between 7 home games to 6 home games. But, I think we're at a point now with the Big 12, with its changing composition, with the new members coming in, with the investment into our program, that the best interest of Texas Tech is having 7 home games a year. Now, there are some years where that may just not be possible, but we're going to do everything within our best efforts to try to accomplish that.
Okay.
Everybody'd love that, having 7 home games.
Well, no, not necessarily, because it's not going to be Notre Dame or USC. It's going to be Slippery Rock, and but we'll have a really good one. But the 7th one's probably not going to be that really good one. So now you're charging everybody that's season ticket holder that extra whatever it's going to be. So I don't think everybody's excited for season ticket prices to go up. So
well, not everybody's excited about anything.
Well, that's right. There's that 7%. There's 7% that
they just aren't excited no matter what you do, Kirby. If you let them in free, they'd go, well, we should be paying.
Yeah. What's the deal on the concessions here?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I think people, it's just fun to have. It just brings a fire to the city, and the band performing and the flyover, and it's just fun to be out there. So it is. We do a great job of trying to entertain the fans. Texas Tech does.
All right, you've been head of the CFP. P.
Yeah.
I put CFO yesterday for Kirby.
Or UFO.
Well, when you think Kirby, you think CFO.
Yeah, CFO. You've been in charge of that.
But anyway, the best. Were you all trying to get the best 4 teams, or the 4 teams that you felt like you needed to pick?
The best 4 teams. Based upon, how they performed all season, week in, week out. And, the charge is to get the best 4 teams to match up. And, that's a challenging situation this year, maybe more so than other. I think they're 2 of 3 one-loss teams that are playing today. And so it'll be an interesting day to watch football. And then, of course, next year it goes from 4 teams to 12 teams.
And then if you're 13, 14, 15, hey, just hush up.
Yeah, be quiet. Yeah. 12's plenty.
If you're 5, 6, or 7, you probably got a reason to complain. But if you're 13, 14, 15, just hush up.
And Kirby, I'll tell you what, you mentioned those games today. Michigan, I can't imagine them getting beaten by Iowa.
No.
And Washington's in now. But if Alabama beats Georgia and Louisville beats Florida State, this is a mess. I'm telling you, I want to be on the committee. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, if those things happen and Texas beats Oklahoma State, then they will have a very long night trying to debate which 4 belong.
It will be tough.
I don't know much, but I know Texas is going to beat Oklahoma State.
You don't know much?
Yeah, I don't know much. But
you've proven that every week.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll beat Oklahoma State too. And I think Georgia will probably beat Alabama, but Florida State could lose. Florida State could lose.
Yeah. And Oregon already has.
And Oregon has.
All right. You going to give me the politically correct answer here? Are we hoping Texas gets in? Because I can't get there. I mentally can't get there.
I don't care how much money they give us.
I don't care how much. I don't know if they're going to pay off that South End or not. It's just not enough.
Well, there's no Red Raider that wants to see that happen, right?
Okay,
right.
All right.
That's the easiest question I've asked all day.
Okay, well, that brings us to your Mark's comments at the first year. Boy, they really blew that up on
big
the
time.
But I look at it this way. crap, if some guy's comment somewhere makes somebody play harder, well, they ought to play harder anyway.
Yeah, but they don't sometimes. It's just amazing how teams, all they got to do is win this game, and they don't get up for it for some reason. But you saw Washington get up last night. They were fired up because they had been shamed by the point spread, and they'd already beaten them once.
But Oregon was fired up, too. It was a good football game.
Yeah.
And the darndest thing about a good football game is somebody's got to lose.
Yep.
Yep.
And the team that had the motivation won.
Now, here's where I think Yormark's comments might have come in is with 26 seconds left and Texas felt the need to score again.
Yeah.
I think that might have been thumbing their nose sort of at the commission. But I know you can't say anything.
Yeah.
But it's college sports, right? That's why we love it. That's why we talk about it every Saturday morning, and it's exciting and it's fun, right? I bet if Commissioner Yormark was here for the kickoff luncheon, knowing how it played out, he probably says the same thing.
Well, everybody cheered. The Red Raiders were going crazy over it.
So it was fun, and obviously Texas, they
were pretty good.
They beat us that night, so you just tip your hat, and we'll continue to build and move forward.
Yep. Seems like Coach McGuire and Coach Sarkisian are pretty good buddies. We probably need to talk to him about that.
Well, everybody likes Joey, right?
They do. They all do. You're right.
Football.
Well,
everybody. There's
some bloggers and stuff that aren't 100%
on
board.
Those people. That's how you know you got the right guy.
That's that 7%.
Now, what time do you need to go right now, Kirby, to get on that phone call?
Yeah, I do, guys.
All right, we want to.
I appreciate you guys.
Hey, do this as soon as you hang up. Call back and let us know where we're going.
All right, you guys got it. I appreciate you.
All right, Kirby. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Kirby Hocutt.
He's a good one.
He really is. We didn't even get to talk about.
I hated to bring that up about.
No, I'm glad you did. I wanted to ask him that about Yormark.
Yeah,
because Texas played it up big time. They really did. They're chanting SEC after the game, and but that's just who they are. Of course, we might have done the same thing if we reversed. I don't think we would.
Yeah.
You think we would? We'd have yelled SEC.
If Texas was down there, we would.
Yeah.
We might have used some different.
I wish we'd have beat them.
Initials.
I wish we'd have beat them. Then we could have yelled SEC back at them. Get out of here. We didn't even get to talk about the McNamara was first team All Big 12.
Yeah.
And so was. I
tell you what, he barely, I bet, beat out BYU's punter.
Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah.
Taj Brooks, running back, first team All Big 12, as well he should be.
It might be hard to recruit a punter to take no more than we punt.
Yeah.
You might want to go to Iowa.
Good punters, though.
If you're a punter, you need to go to Iowa.
Yeah, where they punt a lot.
Well, I bet they punted more in 2 games than we punted in 8.
My experience with punting a lot is you don't normally win.
No.
I told him at the high school luncheon one day, I said, Coach, I don't know a lot, but it looks like to me y'all are punting too much. Y'all need to quit punting so much. And Ben Roberts was a redshirt freshman linebacker, and he was Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year. That's pretty good, Ben Roberts. Way to go. And then Dadrian Taylor Demerson, defensive back, second team All Big 12.
Oh, I wished I'd have read this. I apologize to the texter here because this would have been a good one for Kirby. It says, Kirby, the texter saying this, I'm all in favor of 7 home games, but not at the expense of diluting the quality of teams you bring in. Getting Colorado State off the schedule is a mistake. Are you scared to play them?
We took Colorado State off?
We're thinking about it.
Oh, man, that's
I don't
Joe
know if we've
Parker.
done it yet.
I love that.
But we're trying to get 7 home games. So the year, I guess we were going to go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we need to keep Colorado State.
Yeah.
Plus, it's in Fort Collins and Rachel. And
that's where my daughter lives.
I know it. What are they thinking?
Yeah, that would have worked
Rachel
out good.
and Jordan would be, yeah. And they got some Red Raider friends up there. There's not just them. There's others.
Well, there's more involved in that decision than
just
Rachel and her friends.
Well, they need to at least talk to them.
Yeah, that's right. Or apologize.
Yeah,
drop them a little note of apology.
That's a good matchup. I mean, it's they're not great. But
speaking of good matchups, I think last night was the best matchup of these big bowl or big
that was a good
playoffs.
Game. That was a really good game.
But you know what? Georgia, Alabama might be.
It could be.
I cannot see Iowa, Michigan being a good game. Now, if you like punting,
It'd probably be hard to watch.
That might be the game for you.
What's over and under on that game? 35? Something like that? It's like something weird. No, it's more than that.
No, it's 35. You nailed it.
Because the last week they had 25. That was the lowest ever.
Oh, you think you're telling me something? I bet on over. I bet on over last week. Over 25.
And they had 23, didn't they?
They had 23. How can you lose over and under when the over and under is 25?
I know it.
And the fellow I talked to about it goes, that's 8 points lower than I've ever seen in 35 years of doing this.
Well, and it's
so I don't think it's going to be a riveting.
Not everybody lost. The bookies won.
That game,
they all won big.
The Michigan-Iowa game would be a good game to put up your Christmas lights, your Christmas tree, you go. Play with the kids, the dogs, the grandkids.
Just have it on in the background.
Yeah, just glance up every now and then and say, oh, look, another punt.
Now, what's going to happen today if Iowa beats Michigan? That'll sure make a mess, too. What would you do? Because Iowa's not going.
I guarantee you they are counting the moments for next year to come to where you get the top 12. But I'll tell you, I was going to ask Kirby this, but we didn't have time, is I really think going to 12 teams makes these games today almost, they're important because you want to win the conference, but you're still going to go.
Yeah.
Every one of these teams that's in the hunt, which next year, win or lose, would be going.
But you got to win to get the national championship.
So I'm more of an 8-team guy, I think.
8 would be 12. Fine with me. 8 would be fine.
And don't get me wrong, 12's fine. I mean, I'm fine with 12. I guess 4 teams get a bye.
You think they're going to get to 64? And then finally everybody's in the tournament.
I want to say no.
Everybody.
Okay,
no.
We've got a little time, so we'll do.
We got 30 seconds.
Well, no, I mean, before Curt gets here, we'll do a little hodgepodge of stuff. We'll talk about the Tech Butler game.
Yep.
Did you watch it?
Yep. No, I was out at Friendship because I've got the Gene Messer Classic.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, Leftwich Chapman Flooring America. That's Larry Leftwich and Joe Chapman. They ought to be your flooring company. Let me tell you, residential, commercial, in Lubbock, around Lubbock, they can help you. You'll love working with these people because they will make sure that you're happy and taken care of, and that's what you're looking for. They got great installers, great store at 4517 50th Street. Go inside. You're going to be impressed with what you see. They can help you put it all together. And they would love to do that at Leftwich Chapman. Also, Senior Benefit Solutions of West Texas. We already did a live spot for them.
We sure did. Let's do another one.
You need to go. The Medicare, the open window is through December the 7th. So you need to get in there if you're going to get your Medicare coverage changed. And you say, well, do I need my Medicare coverage changed? Well, they'll tell you. That because you don't know, more than likely, and they can give you great knowledge and expertise on how to do that and how to make it happen.
That's exactly right, Dave.
All right, Curt Langford's here. Come on over here, Curt, and sit down.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
We're just living the dream.
To answer Chuck's questions.
I know it.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. Good to see you.
You as well. Appreciate the invite.
Okay, listen to this. This is
Yeah, singing
about
Pluto. Yeah.
About Pluto the dog or the...
No, Pluto the planet.
The planet.
Because Pluto's not a planet, so it's like Poor Pluto song.
Oh, it's a Poor Pluto.
What are we doing?
I thought they were reinstated.
Oh, what do you want? The remote? Oh, the microphone. The microphone.
Yeah, microphone's underneath the table.
You was hot. I like the ring for
Oh, it's down here.
You see it? Yeah. There it is.
That one you just heard was Olivia.
You have to hold that one real close.
Is that better?
Yeah, let me see. That's nasty. I want you to get hair in your mouth.
There you go.
That's really good.
Andy Wimmers.
That's really good, Andy.
Yeah.
Google that.
I have to Google that.
Yeah.
It's good to see you on person.
You can only
Good to
hear
see
it
you.
here.
Well, you're not ever here, are you? You're always out traveling around.
Oh, that's a myth. I'm out a lot, but
Hey, were you
I
up
still
in New
pay
York?
taxes here.
Did you go to New York?
I did.
Okay.
How fun was that?
Yeah, it was great.
Did Jim go?
He did not.
Did you-
No,
did
he
you-
did not. We had a group. We chartered a plane, and I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to fill it, but sure enough, we did. We had 150 people on a 737, and I was worried about keeping up.
Well, does that include the band, or is this
No. This is totally separate. It was an alumni charter to kind of help support the whole effort.
Okay, and what did
and
that
I was complaining
run?
about that and everything involved in chartering a plane. I was talking to President Skuvenik, and he told me what was involved in chartering a 747 and the whole official part. And I said, okay, I'm going to quit complaining. I mean, this isn't so bad. But
All right,
we had a good group, and
there were lots of Red Raiders up there.
You know, and I was at the RHA banquet last night with Lawrence, and I said, you know, it wasn't until we all came together at Times Square that we all got a feel for exactly how many were there, and it was moving.
I heard it.
I don't know if you're familiar with Times Square. You know that red staircase.
I've been there.
Kind of
but
an
I don't-
elevated
I don't
staircase
remember.
that kind of overlooks that people sit, and you can watch all the billboards and everything. That wasn't originally the plan to even have that. And our barricades, we had to keep moving the barricades out, partly just to get the whole band into the inside area. But just the throngs of Red Raiders that just kept coming.
Isn't that amazing?
New York police, you know, they blocked the traffic, and they finally just went ahead and just overflowed us into that massive red staircase. And they had an elevated view. And I could tell, and I was telling Lawrence last night, when he got up to the mic, he just kind of stepped back, and he's like, I think his words were, you know, Red Raider Nation, you all amaze me.
Isn't that
But
great?
it was well over 1,000.
You call him Lawrence. Gary and I call him Larry.
I'm sorry.
He really likes
Larry?
to be
Oh, I
Larry.
hadn't tried that.
We call him Mr. Skuvenik, sir.
Sir, President.
Oh, we don't call him. No, he doesn't like Larry.
Well, I'm just, you know, I think so much of him and,
I do
and
too.
what he
Isn't
has
he
done
good?
for this university and
what a great.
brought us through COVID.
So
and
great.
leadership, the highest enrollment ever in leadership, and he's so student centric, and that's
And the
what's
students
special
love
about
him.
him.
I
Yeah,
mean, he's
yeah,
just awesome.
yeah.
he-
And
he-
for him to sign a 3-year extension, I was really kind of worried. You know,
Oh, he did?
after COVID.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
After
either.
COVID, you know, there's a lot of unplanned challenges through that. And then the centennial, you know, you kind of think, well, after the centennial, he'll probably hang it up. But no, earlier this fall, he did a 3-year extension.
Okay.
And that's a reflection of how much he believes and loves what he does.
Yep.
And
We
it's
have
just a
talked
good
to him
fit.
about his extension on this show before.
Okay, well, he's good. He's good for
He's
the
got good hair like you.
No, nobody has hair like Lawrence. Let me tell you.
No, he got good hair.
He does.
Yeah. David and I appreciate good hair.
Yeah, it's nice. But anyway, we're
But New York,
we're
it
thankful for him.
was fabulous, and it was great to see so many alumni. You know, a lot of them catching the trains from D.C. and Philadelphia. A lot of them that live up in the Northeast area, they were there. But then a whole lot just traveled from.
We had
so.
Joel Pagan and
Yeah,
and
they
Eric
are
Allen
wonderful.
on last week.
Wonderful
They
guys.
did a great job.
You know, there are a couple of Florida State grads. People don't necessarily know
Yeah,
that.
we
And
talked
and
about
the
it.
alumni director at Florida State's a good friend of mine. So I took their picture and sent it to him, and I said, "Look, they graduated there, but they're one of us.
They're
You
Red
know,
Raiders
so
now.
She didn't know that, and she was watching the parade,
Yeah.
and that was kind of cool.
She didn't know that they were.
She
the
didn't know that they
directors.
were Florida State grads.
Oh,
So I kind of enlightened her
Yeah.
on that, but
that's cool.
to make sure that she knew that they're one of us now.
Are we sure they graduated?
I didn't get into their
We knew they went there.
didn't
Yeah.
get into their GPA or anything like that.
Okay.
we think they graduated.
But Joel and Eric, I know Joel better. I'm getting acquainted with Eric, but you know, and what's neat is, you know, they're practicing out there on that lot right by the Alumni Center.
Yeah.
So we get to hear them. Occasionally I'll walk over there and take some video, share it with alumni.
Yeah.
And he's been very, very supportive. They'll have a pep band at our ring ceremony tomorrow. And
How many kids come to the ring ceremony?
Oh my gosh! Well, I think we're going to give 891 rings tomorrow.
Good grief.
And
gosh.
you count all the family members and friends and everything.
From Balfour?
We'll have 3,000-4,000 people in the
Balfour's the ring
Yes,
we get them
yes.
from. You used to work with them, didn't you?
I know a guy there.
Yeah, you know a
A
guy.
guy that knows a guy.
And we got
That was
real-
supposed to be a 3-year gig, and it turned into 18 years.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Well, that big ring we've got outside the Merkin, that's that you were
2 tons of tradition. We call it.
2 tons of tradition.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's
And you know, everybody talks about, you know, Will Rogers, you know, and the horse, soap suds, and the positioning on campus and how that came about, and the direction of the horse's rear and everything. But a lot of people don't know, but that double T on that ring statue is facing in the exact same alignment. So we don't say a whole lot, but that double T is
That's
purposely-
facing not UT, but A&M,
A&M,
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Need to get over themselves a little
And the
bit.
rear of the horse on Will Rogers is facing them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And that's what they had to do that to make the downtown folks happy because they
Now,
were
was that
upset.
just happenstance, or was that a plan?
Well, as I understand it, the story's told, there was somebody in all his brilliance there at the day when the downtown folks were kind of complaining at the horse's rear. Because, you know, that statue's called Riding into the Sunset. So he's riding due west,
Yeah.
which means the horse's rear is due east, Broadway Avenue. So a lot of the Broadway, the downtown merchants didn't like it. Somebody suggested, hey, rotate that thing 23 degrees. It'll be pointing at A&M, and everybody was in agreement.
Everybody was for that.
Everybody was in agreement.
So that horse is sort of riding into the sunset.
Okay, towards the sunset.
That's good.
Sorry, I didn't know that's where we're going to go today on this.
Hey, we'll go. Well, you never know.
You should have known. What are you thinking?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's true.
Where do you want us to go? Where would you like
to
for
this?
us to go?
Carol of Lights, yes.
yeah.
Holy cow.
The Carol of Lights.
This thing started in 59. I mean, let me tell you, last night at the RHA banquet, Residence Hall Association, this is a student-led tradition ever since it began.
That's great.
And it was really neat. And they had a video from Connie King. I don't know if you know Connie King or not. She worked at
Good name.
Printec for a long time. And she was at that very first Carol of Lights. And she was kind of able to share with the group through a video vignette of what it was like and kind of how it came about and how it grew. And, of course, we all know the great Bill Dean flipped the first switch, the first time. So
The great Bill Dean. That's exactly
and
right.
I think it's just so neat to see all the students putting on this banquet. And every year it's a new group of leadership and continuing this tradition, which I think is one of the more unique traditions that you'll see on any college campus.
It's pretty cool now.
It's gotten better because they got a bigger budget with
the
Centennial.
fireworks and
Are we going to have drones?
I understand 400 drones.
Drones
and
are
hopefully
getting pretty popular.
Hopefully the wind won't be too bad.
where they can fly around and make different things in the.
And there's some things, the fireworks and Cirque du Soleil. It was kind of funny last night. Lawrence was having a hard time. How do you say it? Circus du Soleil? Cirque du Soleil. I said Cirque du Soleil. And I'm not sure how that's going to be worked into the program. And Lost Wax is a mashup band from Kansas City that's pretty popular. And the fireworks, a lot of the Lost Wax, yeah. So
what does that mean?
Well, to me, in the ring business, we referred to the Lost Wax method. That's how they would. That was a factory term, but apparently it's a popular band. So we'll experience that. But it's a mashup band, and apparently they do a wonderful job of incorporating a lot of songs from different generations. So they're going to.
I like that.
They're going to be touching a lot of different
mashup band. For those, some of our listeners aren't quite as astute as us. Tell them what mashup band means.
Well, I guess just maybe it's a modern day word for medley, creating a medley and kind of incorporating a lot of different sounds and genres together in one tune. And that's from my understanding. I don't necessarily go and follow mashup bands myself.
I don't either.
That's the talking points that I've got on.
I didn't know what it was.
That reminds me of an album they used to sell. It was all these great songs. They were great songs by the original artists. And then you'd get the album, and the name of the band was the original artist.
The original
singing the deal.
The original.
Well, if you remember a year ago, of course, it was the Maines Brothers, and you can't beat that. I mean, they're homegrown, their own guys, and that was very, very special. But this will be a little different. And there's going to be some elements now from Carol of Lights. I was talking to Blaine Beal about this, and who's done a wonderful job leading our Centennial effort. The Centennial Committee has been great. I'm proud of him because he was in Student Alumni Board back in the day when I was the advisor of Student Alumni Board. So I keep reminding him, hey, I knew you back when.
Yeah, he's always been an overachiever.
You'd have been nothing without me.
But this, I told him there's several elements that they've done to enhance Carol of Lights that I said, I suspect they'll continue this. Like a lot of the red uplighting on the columns and the arches throughout campus. I suspect that'll be a mainstay.
Really good.
All right. So I'm waffling. If I go, where do I park?
Okay.
And how long is it going to take me to get over to the deal? Because there's lots of people in my age group that would like to go.
Sure.
There's people older than me.
And you got good weather.
Like to go.
You don't have weather as an excuse not to. Look, parking, the best option, it couldn't be more convenient, right there in front of the pavilion. Right in front of the pavilion. And part of that is because we're going to have our pre-lighting festival at the pavilion. That begins at 3:30. And so all that team leading up, we've got Cookies with Santa event there. We're going to have Santa and a lot of the folks that want to bring their kids. So there's a lot of
at the Fraser
preliminary stuff at the Fraser Alumni Pavilion. And we're actually hosting a former board reunion there and a student alumni board reunion. We're going to have several things going on in the pavilion, but we're really encouraging people to bring their kiddos. We have our Legacy Club, and the Legacy kids, they got direct invitations, but it's open to all. And hot chocolate, a lot of hors d'oeuvres, a lot of stuff there. And you could park conveniently to the pavilion. You station there, and then when you're ready, you can walk from there towards the engineering key. And the reason why this is a great route to take is you're walking through the engineering key to Memorial Circle or into the Science Quad if you want to get that far. But after you see the flip of the switch and the lights are on, and after that aha moment, you'll be able to walk back through the key
with the lights,
with all the lights. And
is there just one switch?
I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be, because how would you get them all on at the same time?
If it's one, it's bound to be a big old break.
I mean, yeah, you have to, because you get them all come on at once.
Well, if there's more than one, they're all doing it in sync. Because it's not like this building. It's boom, they're all on.
It's so cool. And
But
it's
the
a great
pavilion
tradition.
is what I would suggest. And if you'd rather be on the other corner of campus, the Market Alumni Center, McKenzie Market, is an ideal place as well.
Yeah.
We don't have anything going on at the center. It's all at the pavilion. But the nice thing about by the Alumni Center is it's easy out too, because you can just turn at 19th
That's
University
important.
and get out.
Yeah.
And something, if I can share something that I'm personally proud of and very excited about, is the Alumni Center, a home away from home. This year, for the first time, is going to be fully lit as part of Carol of Lights. We've done this in 3 stages over the last 3 years. And a few weeks ago, the grounds crew, Rich Cartwright, and the facilities group has been very, very helpful in helping to make this happen. But they had their ladders and a bucket truck, and the second floor of the original home now, the arched windows are all trimmed in the lights. So I'm looking forward to seeing it tonight.
I wonder how many lights there are.
Okay, on campus, about 25,000.
Gosh.
And that's one of the reasons that inspired me to want to get our building lit, because I'm thinking about members of the association. Mm-hmm. And at the time, we had about a little over 25,000 members. And you think about that. When you put up Christmas lights, the last thing you want is to have a bulb that's out.
Yeah.
You have to replace a bulb. When I look at that, I think about
Well, in the old days, remember one bulb would go out and the whole
thing would go out.
The whole deal was down.
Yeah.
But as membership goes, that made me think of those loyal members that maintain their membership every year, and how grateful we are for them. And so that's why we kind of tied a parallel with the lights to Alumni Association membership, and because you don't want to have to replace the bulbs. And I had some thoughts for our marketing campaign. We're doing that in our year end right now, Brighten Our Future. And it's all kind of tied to Carol of Lights.
That's a good.
And that tradition that is so, Brighten Our Future into the next century.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to do Get Lit for Tech, but the marketing tech, they wouldn't
Get
let
Lit
us do
for Tech.
Get Lit for Tech.
Some of them already started.
Or don't be a dimwit.
Yeah, don't be dimwit.
All right, how many members do y'all have?
We're sitting about 28,500.
Okay,
and
so
pushing 30,000.
I'm surprised there's not more than 25,000 lights. I mean, that's a lot of lights.
It is a lot, but you think
That's
there'd
a
be
lot
more.
of campus.
I need to add the bulbs that are on the Alumni Center now. I need to go and count how many bulbs.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Get back to us.
Yeah, I'll do
So you're trying to get a bulb for every member.
Well,
It's getting close.
symbolic.
You can just say that, Kurt. Nobody will
say
know.
it.
No, I know.
Nobody's going to count them.
All marketers are liars, right?
It's a free event,
All
Yes.
marketers
but
are
it is
You can quote
clear
us.
clear bag policy.
Yes.
You can't. I don't know who's enforcing that, but
Well, it's an outdoor
I
event.
do
And
know
it's
it.
a clear bag policy.
what
My
it
understanding,
is.
it'll be gated. There'll be somebody, all entries into the core campus, you'll have to go through a area. And
show them
they're going to be checking and make sure. And I'm glad for security reasons
Yeah.
they need to be doing
What
that.
a world
Just
we're
to
living in.
lots
But
and-
we are, so.
But it's a fascinating, fabulous tradition.
it really is.
I think to a great extent we probably take for granted, and thanks to the students every year for, I had an alum come in yesterday. We had him come in, or he just came in on his own, and he graduated in 1967, a guy by the name of Alan Harrison. He's originally from Memphis, Texas, and he lives in Louisville. And he just came back, had his tech cap on, just kind of roaming around campus. He hadn't been back in a long time. So he's
Yeah.
taking it all
I
in.
bet he was impressed.
And he came to the Alumni Center, his home away from home, and I got to meet him. Came
Yeah.
to the office, we visited, and took him out on the front porch, took a picture. If you follow me on social, you saw it. But he came back because he wanted to experience Carol of Lights again. The last Carol of Lights he was at was his senior year in 1967.
Oh my gosh!
I told him, I said, I was 1 year old.
You're going to be impressed.
Yeah, and he's a kid in a candy store. He can't wait.
Yeah,
And
it
he's-
was always cool to watch them flip
yeah.
the switch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what they're doing today,
It's a whole
above and
production.
beyond.
The whole
Yeah.
production.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, McGavick Nissan and Infinity of Lubbock. That's Brent McGavick and big-time supporters of the Lubbock and Tech, and family-owned and operated by the McGavick family. Brent and Steve, his dad, and they built an unbelievable company. They're really one of the top, maybe the top Nissan truck dealer in the entire country, and their whole Nissan dealership is one of the top ones in the nation. That's how good they are. It's located on Milwaukee and Spur 327. It's where the Nissan deal is, and then right there on Spur 327, facing
you could walk between the two.
You could, is the Infinity dealership, and that's McGavick Nissan and Infinity of Lubbock. All right, Ben Kirkpatrick is here. Post bowl goal antelope. Did Brendan tell you he's a post goal?
I know him.
Oh, yeah, you do?
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I know where he comes from. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
Y'all are both post linebackers. Did you know that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Probably two of the best.
Two peas in a pod.
He said he's a little better than you, but
He was. I know he was.
but he learned from you.
He might have thought it, but he didn't say it.
No, he wouldn't say it.
But is this picture up on the wall at Holly's? Drive it.
Is your picture on the wall at Holly's?
I hope not.
I thought it was just Holly people I thought it was just a Holly family in there.
I'm honorary Holly.
Are you on the wall in Holly's?
My sophomore year.
We eat in there all the way.
How many times have you eaten at Holly's?
Oh my gosh.
It's the place.
Every day of the week, my 7th grade, 8th grade year probably.
Every day.
At school, yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, now then you're a high school student in post. Did you take your dates to Holly's?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, back in those days we never even had a Pizza Hut. It was Holly's or Alsa's.
All right, well, give us a typical Friday night for Ben Kirkpatrick in Post, Texas. You call up Thelma Lou.
Thelma Lou was her name.
Was it? Thelma Lou.
It was when she wasn't going out with Barney.
Yeah. So what would a typical
date in Post is we drove up and down Main Street.
Oh, okay.
In circles.
All right. Now, was there a fight every Friday night or hardly
much.
ever?
Yeah.
Was there?
Just depends
a
on
lot of times.
Because you're driving around and you just look at somebody wrong.
If there was an out-of-towner in town, there was a fight.
Okay.
Because we tried to run him out.
He's in there after Thelma Lou, too.
Yeah.
Everybody wants Thelma Lou.
That's right.
Thelma Lou.
All right. Now, did you marry a Post girl?
No, sir. I married a big city girl from Arlington, Texas.
Oh, you did marry a big city.
Yeah. She
came out here. She came out here to Tech, and thought she was going to move back to the big city, and then
here she is.
What does she hold it against you?
I hung my last name on her, and now she's stuck in Lubbock.
All right. Is she glad of that, or does
she is?
Okay.
She doesn't like going back to the big.
She's a fireball too.
She is.
Always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Tell everybody, because they're thinking you got a drinking habit here. Tell everybody why you'll see Ben drinking a lot, and it's because of what, Ben?
Well, I had a little battle with cancer a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And
an admirable foe.
And yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And after chemo and radiation, I did three rounds of chemo, and then 33 rounds of radiation on my throat and neck area. My saliva glands never came back, so I have to keep a lot of water with me everywhere I go. And
could you do a transplant of saliva glands?
Well, wouldn't that be nice? Well, I'm thankful because those are the side effects, and one of them is losing your taste.
You're very lucky,
and I'm very, very not
blessed.
Blessed.
Yeah,
I've got some friends that still can't taste anything.
Yeah.
So,
but you got that back.
I did get that back.
Good. Or some of them, their taste like they used to enjoy a glass of wine, and then now it's like vinegar. You know, it's just not
right.
But you got that back.
I got that back. I just don't have my saliva glands, but you know what? That's better than looking at the inside of a pine box.
I guarantee you it is. Well, you're looking good. Don't take that wrong, but you're looking good.
Thank you.
So.
I think my wife enjoys it because when I dry out and I can't talk, she hides my water from me.
That'll shut him up.
Hide his water.
I guarantee the problem at your house isn't you talking too much. Now don't tell her I said that.
I think you just told her, Dave.
I think you probably told her.
She knows I love. She's awesome. She really is, and full of power and full of energy.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. All right, so you had that surgery, you had the radiation and chemo, and
which is tougher, radiation or chemo?
The chemo.
Really?
The radiation I never really felt. they build a mask and strap you on the table, and the machine goes around you.
Can they put you under? Can they knock you completely out?
No, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna have to die.
Yeah.
Because I could not.
You cannot
possibly
do it. Claustrophobia will kill you.
Could not possibly do that.
But that was only about 7 to 10 minutes every day. It was just.
And you probably
going
got used to it.
Well, finally, yeah.
Could you get like liquored up and go do it? 'Cause I don't think there's a chance in the world I could do that.
No, a lot of people do have to take some form of anxiety drug to lay down there, because it's a mold that fits to your face, according to your body, and they strap you down every time. They don't want your head moving because they got to be precise.
No, that's
precise.
right.
Can you move your arms and stuff?
You can move your arms.
Okay, because that's when I feel like that. You can get loose.
But the chemo is the hardest part. It just makes you feel like. I told my wife one time, I said, the inside of my body feels like an ashtray, just nasty.
Yeah,
But
and you've gotten over that.
Gotten over that.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Sure have, and been able to
getting better every day,
and been truly blessed, and people that reached out to me while I was going through it, that had already been through it. And now I'm able to reach out to people that are going through what I went through.
Yeah.
I really feel like the Lord has allowed me to do that, even though I never expected that that's what I would be doing. Mm-hmm. But you find out who your real friends are, and you find out through people's texts and letters and people that take time. So I want to pay that forward, and because people showed me how a true friend.
Well, that's an encouragement to people listening today. If you got, and most everybody has somebody that's battling this kind of stuff.
Sure.
Well, a lot of people don't know what to say.
Right.
That's real.
And I never did.
Tell
either.
them you're just praying for
I
them.
never did either, and I was one of those word of mouth. Oh, I'll pray for you, and then I'd never think about it again
You didn't pray for them
until I was too busy. Too busy doing something else.
Did you look them straight in the eye and lie to them?
Sure did.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Here's the deal, Ben. You got to do it right that second.
Until that bomb hits that close to home, you've not walked in those shoes.
Yeah.
And once you've walked in those shoes, when I tell you now I'm going to pray for you,
you're going to pray for them.
Your phone's going to blow up with text because I'm praying for you.
That's good.
And I mean it, because people poured into me first to show me how to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do it.
That's good.
And now I know how to do it. And
well, what would you say? What would you tell people if you're going to pray for somebody or contact them or do a random act of kindness? What would you recommend for people? Because I think Gary's right. I think a lot of people don't know what to say, or they're nervous about saying anything.
Right. I would say, like Spike used to say, take the bull by the horns, and don't ask how you can help. Just help.
Just help.
Just help. Some of the neatest gestures we got, I know my wife got, with people would just show up at our door with food, even though I couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Because my throat was raw.
Yeah.
She could, and the boys could. Rather than, hey, what do y'all want? No, just take the bull by the horn. Just do something. And I learned that. And I learned also, people are like, hey, if you need anything, call me.
Yeah.
I'm going through chemo. I feel like I've been run over by a Mack truck. You want me to pick up the phone and call you?
Yeah. Not going to do it.
Right.
I know.
And so
that's
that
a good
taught
word.
me. That taught me. I was the same way. Hey, Gary, if you need anything, give me a call. Baloney.
Yeah.
Because you know he ain't called.
Can I? Where's your trash? I'm going to take it out for you. Something like that goes a lot.
Got to mow your yard for you.
I had
8506 Oxford.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be right there.
Okay.
But I had to learn.
You can follow me when we leave.
I had to learn all that through this experience. Yeah. And so I think it's taught me to, reach out.
Well, now you're helping people that don't have to go through this experience, and they're learning from your experience. Right. Exactly. And that's the essence of coaching and playing sports.
Correct.
You learn by watching, and you're teaching them right now. The thing is, we got to put it to action. And I like what you're saying.
And how long could you not eat, and how much weight did you lose?
50 some odd pounds. I started in the 220s, and I got down to 173 pounds.
What are you now, 200?
I'm about 205.
Yeah.
205.
Okay, that's probably about where you need to be.
About where I need to be.
Okay.
I need to be able to outrun people now instead of standing.
I lost a lot of weight too, and they say, "Hey, what are you doing to lose weight?" Well, it's the chemo diet.
Yeah, it's the chemo.
Yeah. I don't suggest it. But
you don't want to eat, do you?
Right.
And that radiation just burns you.
Oh yeah, just inside of your throat. It was like having a tonsillectomy for about 10 weeks.
Oh.
All right.
12
A
weeks.
lot of chocolate shakes and
Oh no,
what do you?
Nothing. Hydrocodone and water.
Did they give you
About it.
IVs to feed you, or how'd you?
No, my next step was if I got below 170, they were going to put a feeding tube in.
Oh,
But I didn't have to do that.
Okay.
yeah, that's good. Because they like stick it in.
They stick it right in your stomach. And
Yeah.
yeah. But my wife would buy these protein shakes that had super amounts of calories in them.
Yeah.
And when she wasn't looking, I'd pour them down the sink. Look,
Yeah.
honey, I finished.
Yeah, because it hurt too bad.
It hurt. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. I've got a friend. He was clever, because they weighed you every Friday or Monday or whatever day it was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they would weigh you, and if you lost so much weight, they'd put the feeding tube in you. And you meet a lot of people that are ahead of you with their venture.
Yeah, their path.
Same type of cancer, because you see them every day.
Yeah.
He does radiation right before I do radiation. You probably saw that too. So I met this gentleman. I'm not going to say his name. He lives here in town. I caught him in the gym and I said, how did you keep from getting a feeding tube? I said, I'm this close. He said, don't you tell my wife. He said, but I'd go to Academy and I'd buy those ankle weights. And one day I bought 2-pound ankle weights. Next week I bought another set. They're like, in the last 2 weeks, you've gained 5 pounds. So he never had a feeding.
They were really proud of him.
He told me that after the fact. I thought, man, if I'd have been that smart, my wife would have. She was on me about eating, because I was getting skinny.
Yeah.
But it just hurt too bad. It's miserable. It's true.
Well, you're not unbelievably tall. What, you 6 foot?
No, I'm 5'11".
5'11",
on a good day.
175's not. That's probably what they recommend.
Yeah. It's
Now,
probably
what they
isn't.
recommend is you blow away in the windstorm.
Yeah, probably needed to weigh that, but it just didn't fit my
It
build.
didn't sound right, did
It
it?
didn't fit my build or my
Or my
or my
personality.
jeans or anything else.
Well, a lot of people remember you were Class 3 at All South Plains Player of the Year in 1987 at Post.
Player of the year in post.
No, and Class 3A, All South Plains. There's like 2 other schools in that group.
Yeah,
Oh,
Post
No.
and Slayton.
There's a bunch.
what about Idalou?
Yeah.
Idalou was in there.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, Tracy Saul.
Did you ever
was up-
beat Idalou when you were playing?
I never lost to Idalou.
No, come
Tracy
on.
Saul needs to fess up right now. As long as I was playing at Post, Idalou never beat us.
Did you ever play him?
Every year,
Really?
beat them like a tied up mule most years.
Did you
Oh,
really?
yeah.
And Tracy was on the team?
Yeah.
He was.
He was a nobody at Idalou.
All right, now was he like a year younger?
He was
or-
a year younger.
Year
He
younger.
was a
okay.
year younger.
He's a nobody.
No, Tracy was a heck of a player. We had some battles with those guys.
Well, did you know it at the time that this guy's special?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
We
could-
would see Tracy. We would go to, like, Idalou and play a 7th grade basketball game on a Tuesday night. And he was that little boy at halftime. He was out there shooting 3-pointers. And I'm like, who's that? Is that a 6th grader? Yeah. What's his name? That's Tracy Saul. We knew he was coming.
Yeah.
We knew he was coming from.
He was a better basketball player than football, maybe.
He was a dang good basketball player.
He was.
Now, did he ever come over to Post and
Drive
try
us-
and hit on Thelma Lou?
Yeah, there was a few Idalou boys, but we got along with them pretty good. We'd go up there and check out their girls, and they'd come to Post and check out our girls.
But you had to be willing to fight if you did that.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
No, we got along good with the
I think
Idalou
I just
guys.
have to stick to the girls in my town.
Yeah.
That's close. That's cute enough.
And hope for move-ins.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and then you played for Spike and led it all 4 years.
Hey, real quickly, Spike. You got a special Did you have a special kinship with him?
Oh,
I would think so.
Yes. I ran into Rick the other day at a local restaurant, and we sat there and shared old stories. And God, what a great man!
He was.
What a great man! I'll tell you, I told Rick this story, and my dad was there. My dad and Rick and I got to eat lunch together pretty much a couple of weeks ago. But
Now we're just going to get that where we can see
Oh,
your face.
okay.
You're a fine-looking
I'm a-
man, and we want the women to see.
I was a freshman at Tech. The year that I was at special teams, I was basically on all special teams. Didn't get to start. Stephon Weatherspoon
was starting in front of me, and he was a heck of a lot better than I ever thought about being. But so we were playing SMU the first year after the death penalty, and they had a bunch of freshmen and
Good
sophomores.
time to play 'em.
Freshmen and sophomores.
Perfect.
And we had James Gray, of course, in our offensive line, a bunch of all-conference type guys. And anyway, we get up enough on them that I think I finally get to go in the start of the fourth quarter. You know, we're beating them 50-something to 3 or whatever. Anyway, I'm playing linebacker, and their quarterback throws the ball, and it gets tipped, and I mess around and lands in my hands and got me an interception. So I come running up our sidelines, and I get tackled, and I stood up, and I spun the ball, and I can't remember if I shot it with my pistols or, I'm a freshman. I don't ever see the field. And I'm so excited. I got my first interception, and the first thing I see is two hands grab my face mask, and Spike said, "Don't you ever do that again, son." He goes, "There's not enough mustard in Garza County to cover your hot dog butt." I don't think he said butt, but he got the point across.
That's so good.
And
I think I remember that. when it happened.
I was never so embarrassed.
We were so excited for you.
Yeah, I finally got an interception. And then,
You were number 47?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Spike ruined it for me.
He did.
He ruined it
Your
for
celebration.
He taught me a lesson, though. Quit being a showboat. I never did that again, I'll promise you.
Yeah. It's a good lesson. I wish more people had that lesson.
Yeah, that's super.
All right, we've got Ben Kirkpatrick here.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.